Jere, so good to see you. Let's talk about IRMAA today. What do you say?
Good to see you, Erin. Let's talk about it.
Okay, so break it down. I want to know, what is IRMAA and how will it affect what you pay from Medicare Part B? If the Social Security Administration considers you a high-income beneficiary, you will pay a surcharge known as the income-related monthly adjustment amount. That is quite a mouthful. And how high is high income?
Yeah, really not that high. If you think about it, for a single person, it's $109,000, and the married filers, it goes up from there. But the catch here is that it's $1. If you hit a cliff of just $1, you're going to pay an extra $200, as you can see on the chart, or $284, and that's per person of extra income per month for this subsidy.
Yeah, IRMAA catches a lot of people off guard, and you mentioned it's that cliff. So if you are in just $1 in a new bracket, you're paying a completely different premium. And this is different from our taxes, right? Just explain how this catches people off.
Yeah, that's right, Erin. Most people think about it just like they do their taxes, and that's not the right way to think about it, because you're only paying extra tax amounts on the next level of bracket that you hit. When you hit these extra IRMAA limits, you go over that $1 over every one of these thresholds, and you're getting killed with that extra subsidy or surcharge, as we call it.
And how does this all relate back to Medicare Part B?
Well, there's two parts of Medicare, right? The main parts, there's obviously Part D, but the main parts are Part A and Part B. Part B is what you're paying for, and not everybody pays the same amount. It depends on your income and these limits that we just talked about. So that's where the IRMAA is tied to, is basically, for the most part, Part B of Medicare.
Okay, and then for our observant viewers out there, I'm sure they're noticing this is your 2026 Part B premium based on your 2024 income. So without proper planning, you may have to pay IRMAA because of a one-time financial event that happened 2 years ago. Walk me through some examples that could bump up your income.
Yeah, almost everything else in the tax code is related to what you've done this year.
Right.
How much income you've earned this year. This is not that. So the IRMAA limits go back for 2 years, and there's all kinds of things that go into that as far as your income goes. IRA distributions, how much you're getting for a bonus at work, that last big earning year. And that's the catch here is kind of two things. So if you think about it this way, sometimes we will blow through the IRMAA limits for 1 year, okay? Because it's like if you're walking down the sidewalk and you want to walk over some nickels of that extra IRMAA for 1 year to pick up dollars of long-term tax planning, we might actually blow through those IRMAA limits with intention. And then on the other end of that, what we don't want to do is have forced distributions or forced income through pensions, through RMDs that we're not planning for, that now costs us these IRMAA limits for the rest of our life. Okay.
Right, really good point.
So we've got to look at those on both ends and plan for it.
Mm-hmm. And so now let's talk through some strategies then to reduce your IRMAA. And you talk about strategic tax planning. So one of those events that could bump up your income would be a Roth conversion. But in the long run, Jere, you said this might be worth it. Explain how that works.
Yeah, so we got to think about this as really a retirement income, and IRMAA and all of these things are this big cash flow puzzle. So I just think of it as a big cash flow puzzle. And there's all these things that go into that cash flow puzzle. How much income you need, where income's coming from. So one of the things that you just talked about is that can be a strategy is those Roth conversions. There you go. So doing Roth conversions at the right time in the right way, and this whole cash flow puzzle, along with when to do Roth conversions, it's like threading a needle. You've got to get it the right way. Otherwise, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak, and unnecessarily paying. So Roth conversions can be a great tool.
Mm-hmm. And then another strategy, health savings accounts, which are uniquely triple tax advantaged.
There you go. Health savings account. That's a great way to manipulate that cash flow puzzle, because contributions are tax deductible, the growth is tax free, and then your withdrawals can be tax free as well. So it's a triple win.
Mm-hmm. And as we talked about, being bumped up in your income with forced distributions, we're talking about required minimum distributions and a strategy to reduce that tax burden. And again, help your IRMAA, qualified charitable distributions. How do these work?
Yeah, QCD. So qualified charitable distribution is a great planning tool, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to satisfy this forced distribution, which is an RMD, required minimum of distribution, while at the same time avoiding that income showing up in that year to help with that cash flow planning that we're trying to do. So QCD is a great way and a great tool. And I'll also throw on a bonus there outside of the three that you talked about is the lump sum of a pension. So if you are fortunate enough to have a pension where you can either take it as a monthly payout or as a lump sum can be a great planning tool from IRMAA and tax benefit, because if you just take the monthly benefit, while the guaranteed income stream is great, you're really losing all control of that big pot, and that can stack income on top of Social Security, on top of other pensions, on top of forced distributions, pushing you over those IRMAA limits for the rest of your life and also into higher tax brackets for the rest of your life. So a lump sum pension is another great tool of giving yourself control of how and when you're going to spend that lump sum, how you're going to invest it. So that's another great tool there.
I'm really glad you had time to talk this through, because IRMAA to me is very complicated. Like you mentioned, it's like threading a needle, but threading a needle that's behind you because it's everything that happened 2 years ago. So a lot of moving parts here. If somebody is 63, Medicare starts at 65, and wants to start talking through these strategies, or younger, right? What's the best way to reach you with questions, Jere?
Best way to get us is on our website at northernwaywm.com.
Perfect. Jere, thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Erin.